Good afternoon, students. We'll continue with our online class for our subject biology for engineering. In our last session, we have seen the topic of Unit 1, Introduction to Life. Topic what we have discussed in our last session was biomolecules. We have seen the introduction to biomolecules and we have discussed the first biomolecule, that is carbohydrates, and we have seen the flowchart of carbohydrates, the classification of carbohydrates in our last session. I told you to draw the flowcharts and the classification of carbohydrates. This was the homework what I have given in our last session. So if you have drawn the diagrams, what all we have discussed in Unit 1, all the diagrams of prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, draw in your book of biology, maintain a separate book for biology, and draw the diagram, practice, and send me the photos of all the diagrams what you have drawn in your notes of biology through my WhatsApp number. Along with your roll number, seeing your roll number, I'll give you attendance. This flowchart also you draw, carbohydrates classification, and all the diagrams what you have drawn related to all the online sessions of Unit 1, what we have discussed, and send me on my WhatsApp number the photos of your notes of biology along with your roll number. I'll give you, then only I'll give you attendance. This flowchart also of classification of carbohydrates. Draw it in your classwork and take the photo and send it to my WhatsApp number. Seeing your roll number, I'll give you the attendance. This carbohydrate classification we have discussed in our last class. Carbohydrates are classified into monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. Mono here means one. Saccharides are nothing but sugars. So carbohydrates are nothing but the sugars. Simply we call them as sugars. Saccharides here are sugars. Mono means a carbohydrate containing one sugar molecule. We call it as monosaccharide. Oligosaccharides, a carbohydrate when it is hydrolyzed, it will give 2 to 10 monosaccharides. We call it as oligosaccharides. So oligosaccharides are a carbohydrate that on hydrolysis will give nearly 2 to 10 monosaccharides, or the sugars are called oligosaccharides. Then polysaccharides, poly means many. Many sugar molecules combined in this form of carbohydrates are polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are nothing but the carbohydrates with many sugars, are the chains of or it will contain the chains of monosaccharides. Mono here is single sugar. All that single sugar molecules will be combined in a chain to form many sugars called polysaccharides. So many examples are here in the classification of carbohydrates. Monosaccharides are classified into trioses, tetroses, pentoses, hexoses and heptoses. Triose means a sugar with 3 carbon molecules. All this we have discussed in our last session. In our last session the flowchart was not clear, so here I am discussing it again with a clear classification of carbohydrates. Okay. Tetra is, tetra means 4. 4 carbon molecules will be present in tetroses. Pentoses, penta means 5. 5 carbon molecules will be present in pentoses. Hexoses, hexa means 6. 6 carbon molecules will be present in hexoses. Heptoses is 7. 7 carbon molecules will be present in heptoses. So monosaccharides are classified into triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose and heptose. We have oligosaccharides classification as disaccharide and trisaccharides. Oligosaccharides are classified again into two types, that is disaccharides and trisaccharides. Di means here these are formed by two simple sugar will be joined by a bond in this disaccharides. Trisaccharides, disaccharides are formed when two sugar molecules will be joined by a bond. So disaccharides will contain two sugar units and trisaccharides will contain 3 sugar units. Trisaccharides will be formed from 3 sugar units when they join together. Polysaccharides are again classified into two types, that is structural polysaccharides and storage polysaccharides. Example of the structural polysaccharide is cellulose and the example of storage polysaccharide is starch and insulin. Structural polysaccharides and storage polysaccharides, this will be sweet in taste. Starch will be, where do we see the starch? In the potato. Seeds and leaves will have this starch. Cellulose will be present in plants in the cell wall, we have discussed. So this is the classification of carbohydrates. In our last session we have discussed this classification, but the flowchart was not clear, so I am here discussing it again. We have discussed the functions of carbohydrates also in our last class, and we have seen the functions of carbohydrates, how they are helping us, and we have seen lipids also in our last session, and we have also seen the classification of lipids in our last session. Classification of lipid was clear, but even though I am here discussing it again so that you will be drawing it in your classwork. Lipids. Lipids are classified into simple lipids, compound lipids, and derived lipids. Simple lipids we also call it as homolipids. Again it is classified into fats and oils and waxes. So lipids here are the compounds which are oily to touch and they are insoluble in water. Lipids are insoluble in water and they are oily to touch. Lipids will include all these fatty acids, oils, waxes, sterols, terpenes, carotenoids, triglycerides. All these are the different types of lipids. What we are seeing in the classification of lipids. Lipid is the main source of stored energy. Fats and oils, waxes, all these are the different types of lipids. Simple lipids will contain the fatty acids along with alcohols. Fats and oils and waxes are the two different types of simple lipids. Complex compound lipids or heterolipids are classified into phospholipids, glycolipids, different types of lipids. Phospholipids. Phospholipids are the lipids containing phosphoric acid, and in the name itself you have phospholipids, lipids containing phosphoric acid. Glycolipids, these lipids will contain fatty acids, carbohydrates, and the nitrogen bases. Phosphoglycerides, lecithins, cephalins, plasmalogens, phosphoinositides, phosphosphingosides, all these are the different types of phospholipids. Steroids, terpenes, carotenoids, all these are also the derived lipids, different types of derived lipids. Next we have is functions of lipids. We have discussed in our last session. What we are discussing in today's session, the topic here is proteins. The next biomolecule what we will be discussing in our today's online session is protein, the biomolecule protein. Carbohydrates and lipids we have discussed in our last session. Still biomolecules, what is included in your syllabus is proteins. The next topic what we are discussing here is proteins. Proteins are the important biomolecules which is included in your syllabus. It is a type of biomolecule. It is the most abundant organic molecule of life. It will have a long chain of amino acids. What are proteins? Proteins are nothing but a long chain of amino acids which have an important role in all living organisms. Proteins are nothing but amino acids, a long chain of amino acids. Amino acids will join together and form the proteins, and proteins have a very important role for all living organisms in different biological processes. So this is the definition of proteins. Proteins are most abundant organic molecules of life which are essential for catalyzing most of the biological processes. They have an important role in all living organisms for different biological processes to carry out, and proteins are nothing but the long chain of amino acids. Different amino acids will join together and form the proteins which perform different functions in our body. They'll carry out different life processes, different biological processes. Next we have is the classification of proteins. Classification of proteins. Proteins are classified into simple proteins, conjugated proteins, and derived proteins. Simple proteins are all again classified into globular proteins and scleroproteins. Simple proteins will contain only the amino acids. Proteins are nothing but a long chain of amino acids we have discussed just now. So, simple proteins will be composed of only the amino acids. Conjugated proteins. Simple proteins will contain the amino acid. Conjugated proteins will contain the amino acids. Beside containing the amino acids, these conjugated proteins will also contain a non-protein part. We call them as the conjugating group. Amino acid will be containing a non-protein part in the conjugated proteins. In the derived proteins, this will be the product of simple and conjugated proteins. Derived proteins will get it from simple and conjugated proteins. What we get is derived proteins. So in conjugated proteins, will be containing the protein part. Along with that, it will interact with other chemical groups attached by the covalent bonding and form these conjugated proteins, like all these nucleoproteins, glycoproteins, mucoproteins, lipoproteins, phosphoproteins, chromoproteins, metalloproteins. Simple proteins example you can take here of globular proteins. These globular proteins are soluble in water. Example like albumins, globulins, gluteins, prolamines, histones, globins, protamines. All these are the different nutrient proteins or the globular proteins related to simple proteins. Then scleroproteins. These are insoluble in the solvents like water. Sclero, insoluble. Sclero or fibrous proteins. Example we can take here is collagens, elastins and keratins are the examples of scleroproteins or the fibrous proteins which are insoluble in water. Globular proteins are soluble in water. Next we have conjugated proteins, nothing but proteins bonded to other substances, conjugated to other substances, joined to other substances. Conjugated is nothing but proteins joined to other substances. The examples of conjugated proteins here are nucleoprotein, first one. Nucleoprotein is a protein bonded to carbohydrate. Nucleoprotein is protein bonded to nucleic acid. Protein bonded to nucleic acid. We call it as nucleoprotein. Protein bonded to carbohydrate, we call it as glycoprotein. Okay. Protein bonded to carbohydrate, we call it as glycoprotein. And the protein bonded to nucleic acids, we call it as nucleoproteins. Next, lipoproteins, proteins bonded to lipids, proteins plus lipids. The name itself you have, proteins plus lipids are called lipoproteins. Lipoproteins, example you can take in blood plasma. Lipoproteins will be present in blood plasma. Next we have phosphoproteins. Phosphoproteins is a protein with a phosphate group. In the name itself you have phosphate group is attached to the proteins. Then chromoproteins. Chromoproteins are the proteins. Chromo means colored pigment. Proteins attached to the colored pigments. We call it as chromoproteins. Protein along with a colored pigment. We call it as chromoproteins. Example we can take hemoglobin is a protein with a colored pigment. Colored pigment, the red color of the hemoglobin will be the example of chromoprotein. Hemoglobin is a protein with a colored pigment. Metalloproteins are the proteins plus metal. Protein attached to a metal, we call it as metalloproteins. Then we have derived. In the derived we have classification as primary derived proteins and secondary derived proteins. In the primary example we have coagulated proteins, metaproteins, proteases, peptones, polypeptides, peptides. All these are the different derived proteins. So this is the classification of proteins. Everyone should draw this classification of proteins in your notes and take the photo and send through my WhatsApp number today after the class. After seeing your roll number with the diagrams of classification of proteins and all what all you have drawn, I'll give you the attendance. So after watching the complete video only you have to give the attendance. This is the classification of proteins what you have to draw in your notes. Next we have the functions of proteins. Functions, different functions will be carried out by different proteins in our body also. The fibrous proteins, keratin forms, the external protective structures like nail, hairs, hoofs, skin, etc. So proteins are very important to carry out the different functions of the life processes of living organisms. All these are the different functions of proteins. Antibodies and proteins mean for neutralizing and recognizing the toxins, viruses and other pathogens. Pathogens are the microorganisms which are causing different infections, will be identified by different proteins. Proteins will also provide different mechanical support like we have discussed. They are forming the external protective structure, means they will provide the mechanical support as they are the proteins present in keratin and all, and they are also fighting against the different infections. They have immune response, they are recognizing different viruses and the other pathogens which are causing different diseases, and they are fighting against the diseases and infections, and they have a immune function. So proteins are mainly helping in the immunity. Proteins, 50% of the dry weight of the protoplast will be containing the proteins. So they are also helping in supporting the different structures. They are providing mechanical support also, and they are all these are the different functions of proteins. Next biomolecule what we have in our syllabus is vitamins. Vitamins are also essential or important for the normal growth and functioning of all the living organisms. Vitamins are very important for the growth and functioning of all the living organisms. This is the definition of vitamins. Definition of vitamins, classification of vitamins and functions of vitamins is what you have in your syllabus of unit 1, vitamins. Definition of vitamin is this one. Vitamins are the organic compounds that is essential for the normal growth and the metabolic processes or the chemical reactions what all is undergoing in a living organism will be done by these vitamins. This is the definition of vitamins. Next we have is the classification of vitamins. Vitamins are classified into water soluble and fat soluble vitamins. Water soluble vitamins and fat soluble vitamins. In the water soluble vitamins we have again non-B complex and B complex. So vitamins are very important for the maintenance and growth of living organism. Just now we have discussed in the definition of vitamins, and this is the classification. In this, first one is water soluble vitamins, and the second one is fat soluble. In the water soluble vitamins, you have non B complex vitamin and B complex vitamins. In the non-B complex vitamin, the example is ascorbic acid or vitamin C. The B complex vitamins, it is again classified into energy releasing, hematopoietic and the other vitamins. Energy releasing vitamins are thiamine, riboflavin. Thiamine is vitamin B1. Thiamine is vitamin B1. Riboflavin we have here, and niacin we have, biotin and pantothenic acid. All these are the different types of vitamins. In the hematopoietic vitamins we have folic acid and vitamin B12. Others like pyridoxine, pyridoxal, pyridoxamine are the different vitamins. B1 is thiamine vitamin. B2 is riboflavin. B1 is thiamine. B2 is riboflavin. B12, vitamin B12, we also call it as cyanocobalamin. Niacin, nicotinic acid or pantothenic acid, vitamin B3. All these are the different vitamins. In the fat soluble vitamins we have vitamin A, retinol, beta carotenes, vitamin D, cholecalciferol, vitamin K, phylloquinones, menaquinones, vitamin E, tocopherols. All these are the different types of fat soluble vitamins. So this is the classification of vitamin. This flowchart also you need to draw in your classwork. Different sources of vitamins is in this retinol, vitamin A, which is a fat soluble vitamin. The source, what we eat, if we eat the leafy vegetables, carrots, tomato, liver, egg, milk, all this will contain the retinol A vitamin, which is very important. If not taken in a definite amount, that will lead to different diseases. So this is the classification of vitamins. Vitamin will also perform different functions. There are 13 essential vitamins which are required for the body to work properly. 13 essential to human body to function properly are this: vitamin A, D, E, K, B1, vitamin B2, B3, B4, B5, B7, B6, B12 and B9 are the different vitamins which are essential and should be taken in a small amounts for the maintenance and growth of all the living organisms. Vitamin A will help in forming the healthy teeth, bones, tissues, soft tissues and skin. Vitamin C will be essential for wound healing. It will promote the healthy teeth. Vitamin D will maintain the proper blood levels of calcium and the phosphorus. Vitamin D, we also call it as sunshine vitamin. Vitamin E will help in forming the RBCs, red blood cells, and the use of vitamin K is needed because without it, blood would not stick together or coagulation. If you get any injury, when sudden blood is coming out, after some time blood will stop by the process of coagulate, which is done by the vitamins. This is the functions of vitamins which is very important or essential to human beings. So thank you students. This is what all we have discussed in our today's session. The proteins classification, definition of proteins, and we have discussed the functions of proteins, the important biomolecule. Then we have discussed about the vitamins, definition, classification. You need to draw this classification of vitamins in your classwork and send it to my WhatsApp number. Then only you will get the attendance. So thank you students. We'll continue with our next topic of unit 1 in our next session.